And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys. I hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. Guys, just before we do get into today's video, I want to apologise my inconsistency recently on this channel. I do very much apologise, it's for good reason. I've been absolutely snowed under with my other work that I currently do. It's been consuming me. However, the good news is guys that we are building the team out. We're going to be taking this channel up to another level. We're of course going to be bringing in more people, so then we can go back to those sort of daily posts and keep bringing you the breaking news that I have done very consistently for the last 2.5 years. So just a quick one there, just to say I'm sorry. I do realize the inconsistency, and I will get back to being as consistent as possible as new faces arrive here on this channel to help me with the workload. But guys, enough about me. Today's video, guys, we're going to be going through some Liverpool news, some massive Liverpool transfer news ahead of the January transfer window is one of the stories we're going to be discussing. And I just want to give you my thoughts on the game against Girona, just briefly. Of course, I did do a match reaction over on our sister channel, Panenka, for more in-depth deep dive on. Yeah, a little bit more active on that channel with regards to more of the tactical, higher quality content rather than the in-person stuff. So if you haven't already checked out that match reaction, make sure you do. It is probably the most in-depth Liverpool tactical analysis channel out there on YouTube. I mean, if you've got someone that can does a better job than us, than Panenka, then do let us know. But guys, the game, listen, 1-0, a lot of people giving a bit of criticism to Liverpool when saying that we weren't necessarily the best, or it was our best performance. Look, I know, but it was just about getting through. We're through to the Champions League last 16, kind of. I mean, look, barring crazy goal difference, but it allows us to rotate for those last two games, which genuinely is massive. It's huge, especially coming out of those festive periods, especially coming out of going into January, the new year, is a bit of a slog. So to be able to rotate during that time, I think is an absolute blessing. So for me, it was all about the 3 points, and we're through to the Champions League last 16, essentially, barring goal difference or whatever. But I'm super happy with that. And yeah, top of the league, top of every single league that we're in. Of course, seeing Manchester City again last night lose to Juventus, they're in massive amounts of trouble, and we have a really, really good chance to go on and win this title. But the overall game against Girona, good to see Alisson back, and good to see Gravenberch playing very, very well again. Andy Robertson played well, Alisson good save, and Mo Salah, of course, coming up with the goods once again. So again, I just look at it as job done for me. I don't necessarily care how well we play, especially in December. I'm not necessarily caring too much. I do care, obviously, how well we play, but in December, for me, it's just about getting through it. And once we get into January, February, that's where I expect us to put in better performances. As long as we're winning, that's all that matters to me at this moment in time. Now, moving on to some transfer news, guys, we are fast approaching the January transfer window. Now, in recent years, we haven't done that much January business. I think, when was the last time? I'm trying to think about January transfer windows. I don't think we didn't do any last year. Year before, did we do any? I can't remember, something that doesn't ring out in my mind. But yeah, we rarely do January business. I feel that's the case for Liverpool for some weird reason. But again, look, there has been murmurs. We did miss out on Zubimendi in the summer. And there is a felt that, we're at the top of the table. Could be more injuries. Just bring in some more players, especially that defensive midfield area, is something that we could definitely bring in. However, what we're starting to get a heads up on, guys, is a player with regards to the name João Pedro. You'll know about it. But Liverpool have been linked. According to UOL journalist Bruno Andre, a very reputable journalist within the space in that homeland, Liverpool consider Pedro as a priority target going into the summer of 2025, but with initial talks having already started, but they're already being dubbed as merely exploratory. The Reds could even begin negotiations with the 23-year-old in January, which is huge, as they look to beat other top clubs to his signature. Reliability, of course, Again, you probably haven't heard too much about him, but they've got a ton of followers from where they're from. But a Brazilian player, and Pedro, as I said, he's impressed so far for Brighton this season, bagging 7 goal contributions, 4 goals and 3 assists in his many Premier League starts. With doubts persisting over Nunez's long-term worth and Diogo Jota's fitness record, a concern that Brilliant could be a great addition. So I think this has gone down well with the Liverpool supporters on social media. And certainly one I would like to always add these players here and there and just add them. And I think João Pedro would certainly be one of those. But as I said, this talk's apparently been ongoing in terms of exploratory talks, nothing sort of mental, but certainly a player that we're interested in and someone that we could be going in for in the summer. But again, reports stating that we could start the negotiations in January. In terms of the transfer window itself in January, I do think we do need to revisit that defensive midfield area. I know Gravenberch's been absolutely amazing, but a player like Zubimendi offers something a little bit different to what Gravenberch offers. And I just feel like you always want to fix the roof whilst it's sunny outside. I genuinely have always stood by that. Go and fix the roof whilst the sun is shining. Currently the sun is shining, so let's fix the roof. Let's have a little look for malfunctions in the rooftop. Let's try and maybe add a player in, add some quality. Don't go out there and just spend for the sake of spending, but I do think we are short in other areas. I know he did get a Champions League man of the match in the Champions League game against Girona, but the left-back area is something that we need to be looking at for the long-term future. So start planning now, start preparing now, but certainly someone that could take us to another level, I think, is a Zubimendi type of player. And I know, again, before everyone jumps on me and says, Gravenberch, I know he's been fantastic, but Zubimendi's something a little bit different. And then you can just play around with different little areas. If there's a bargain to be had, if there's someone that we can add, a gem, a diamond, then I think we should be all for it. I don't like the idea of neglecting that roof, as we're speaking in a metaphorical way, when it's raining and pissing raining outside. And we've been through that. We were stung in the 2022-23 season when we brought Arthur Melo in. We actually got stung because we are neglecting the transfer window. So I think we should always strengthen from a position of strength, and that's currently where we're at. So I do hope in January we do manage to bring maybe 1 or 2 players in. I think that'd be amazing. But so far, guys, it's João Pedro as a player that is a potential target for this football club, which again, that's what the headlines are saying at this moment in time. So take of that what you will. But for Liverpool next, guys, of course, we are back in the English Premier League. We've got a trip to Fulham. Now, Fulham might seem easy, but we are at Anfield. I do think our record at Anfield is fantastic, barring that Nottingham Forest sort of hiccup. But Fulham are no mucks. Marco Silva's got a really, really well-drilled team, and if you're looking at their most recent result, they did get a draw to Arsenal, albeit it was at Craven Cottage, but still a side that aren't there to be taking the piss at and just think, oh, whatever, we'll just turn up and beat them. The 10th in the table, they're there for a reason. They've done very, very well so far, and their most recent result against Arsenal just proves to show that they can take a scalp or two. But Liverpool fans, that's all I've got for you today. Do let me know your thoughts on João Pedro down there in the comments section below. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Peace.